All right, let's react to the J. Cole video, and then this is my last thing. Then I'm done for the day. Well, not for the day, but done for right now. All right, it say J. Cole isn't who he think he is. By I used to be paid. Now, me personally, I always thought J. Cole wasn't all that. I think he got some hits. I think he's a good rapper, but I don't see the hype that everybody else see. I don't think he that good. Especially you comparing him to Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Hell nah. I don't see what people talk about.
Fake deep. For years,
I'll be arguing with people about this nigga.
Fake deep allegations. J. Cole is a guy who is known to be a conscious rapper. A rapper where he raps about typical rap stuff, you know, money, cars, clothes, and women, things of that nature, but he still has meanings and message throughout his music. A rapper who puts in a level of realness and knowledge that made a lot of people fall in love with his music. Something that made a lot of his biggest fans put him on a pedestal of somebody who isn't just an average rapper. Someone who's more so purpose-bound. Somebody who isn't just a musician, but a poet and an insightful person that acts as a spokesperson for the average Joe. Someone who's able to portray accurately people's lives in a very powerful way musically. What's good, YouTube? It's Justice I Used to Be Paying. Today I'm back with another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about J. Cole and some of these fake deep allegations. But before we get into that, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things. It helps me out a ton. For reference, I've always been a J. Cole fan. I grew up as a huge J. Cole fan. J. Cole was actually my first ever real favorite rapper. Now, I've always listened to rap music. It's not like there was a moment where
J. Cole being your favorite rapper is crazy. But I know people. Well, I don't think I know nobody who favorite. Do I? No, I don't think I know nobody who favorite rapper J. Cole. They one of their favorite rappers be J. Cole, but not their favorite though. Your favorite rapper being J. Cole is crazy.
Oh man, now I listen to rap music. It's always been a thing in my life, but I never truly had any like favorite rappers until J. Cole. He was the first rapper that I really kind of identified with and really stuck to and said, this is a guy that I truly am a fan of. Now, he's not my favorite rapper of all time. That's he who shall not be named at this point. And Cardi's probably my favorite modern rapper. So J. Cole, while he still is somebody that I love and still love his music, he's not the guy that I used to have on the top of my list anymore. He still is somebody that I resonate with a lot and that I grew to love as a child. And I think that it gives me the...
I don't see it, bro. I always thought this nigga was boring, bro. Like, I always heard a song or two. I'm like, okay, this cool. But J. Cole is so damn boring, bro. This nigga is boring. Like he just like a regular. First of all, he just look like a regular nigga. It's nothing. It don't really call. It don't really like you just look at it. It don't just call out star. He just like a regular nigga. Then like his swag, he ain't got none. His style, his rap style is just like I said, it's boring to me, bro. I don't know.
I think a lot of people misunderstand J. Cole and what he's supposed to.
I like eccentric.
Some of his own.
I like eccentric.
J. Cole was always well liked when discussed by the wider rap audience. And
like J. Cole right here, he looked. This one got more of an eccentric look, but the J. Cole at the beginning, nah.
And he was respected as somebody who would give you social commentary in his music. Yet the moment where things really changed was when Cole dropped 2014 Forest Hills Drive. This is still to this day considered to be his best album by most people, and this was really the first album that solidified him as an undeniable superstar and one of the greats of this generation. Famously, the album went double platinum with no features, and the album was everywhere with the music all over the radio. And
Forest Hills Drive didn't have features? I thought Forest Hills Drive the one that had Power Trip on it. Huh.
All over the charts. Yet this album was the moment where
it had this one, not the one that had the song with Missy Elliott. Huh.
The boiling
unless it was on the
deluxe when it
song.
comes to J. Cole detractors or haters, whatever you want to call them, because in the aftermath of this album, not only was J. Cole being praised obviously for the music and how great it was and how great of an artist he was, but also his social commentary. The way that some J. Cole fans were describing this album, you would have thought that like MLK came back from the dead, grew out some freeform dreads, and picked up a microphone. Like, that is how people were talking about J. Cole post 2014 Forest Hills Drive. And so that kind of sparked this movement of J. Cole haters or detractors who were kind of looking to tear down this image of him as this super high, consciously woke rapper. And I mean woke in the way that we use the word, not the way that it's been kind of bastardized. There was so much praise for Cole that the detractors finally went to the music and did a deep dive into the lyrics to see if he held up to the standard that a lot of his biggest diehard fans were holding him at. And they came away with the conclusion that he wasn't saying much of anything. Like, for somebody who has this reputation of this amazing social and political commentator, he was very surface level. The argument of whether or not Cole is deep is where I believe the misunderstanding is coming from. They're looking for Cole to have this crazy political and social knowledge where he's saying things that nobody's ever said before, and they're trying to hold him to the standard of somebody who is an elite political thinker, somebody who's an elite political movement starter. And I just don't believe that that is the realm in which Cole exists or really ever has existed. There was a search for a super complex breakdown of reality and how we should go about it, or some sort of sociological analysis of the black community, or political speech that could only come from a foundation of a well-read political theory nerd who loves Frantz Fanon and bell hooks, but that's not Cole, and it never has been. He's even admitted to not being super well-read on political issues or books in general when he got into a brief altercation with No Name. Cole is an everyman when it comes to political and social messaging, and that is a part of his appeal. When discussing Cole and what he says, people were trying to tie him too closely to Malcolm X, when in reality, he's kind of more of a Joe Rogan. And I know that sounds terrible because of
why compare him to a political
is, and now his apparent
not political,
but that's kind of the archetype of political thinker that Cole is. He's an everyman. He's a guy who's asking a bunch of questions, who can recognize certain things, but he can't give you an in-depth breakdown of all of these things. He's just a guy that sees things, talks about it, asks questions, and can realize the negatives of life, but isn't really a leader. He's not a thought leader. He's more of an amplifier. Cole often raps about the realities of growing up without a father for young black men, or the senseless violence that is taking away a lot of their lives, the police brutality and the racial discrimination in this country that still hinders black people to this day, especially in the criminal justice system. Cole isn't rapping about things that we've never heard before. He's rapping about things that have been rapped about.
Yeah, J. Cole be rapping about if a girl say her body is 3, you gotta multiply that by 10. It's like, that's a bar. You gotta multiply that by, I don't remember what the bar, I don't remember what he said, but that's a bar. He rap about shit like that. But I ain't never, did the nigga be rapping about like, really like black people in, or the justice system and all that shit? I don't know.
He's not trying to break the mold and give us new insight that we've never heard before and really challenge us to look even further into things that we never really considered. He's just bringing attention to the things that still affect us the most to this day on the front lines. Cole is a megaphone. He's not the original author, but he is a messenger. So if you're looking at Cole from the guise of somebody who is a political thinker, then yeah, he might fall short. He might not reach the standards that you were hoping for. But if you look at Cole for somebody who just cares about their community and wants to fight back and combat the issues that plague it, I think you get closer to who J. Cole actually is in reality. J. Cole's album For Your Eyes Only is a perfect example of this. For Your Eyes Only is a conceptual album where J. Cole is telling the story of his friend's story, who grew up in these impoverished areas, was trying to get it, whether it was legal, illegal, whether he had to sell drugs, whatever he had to do, he was doing it. Eventually he goes on to have a daughter, but he dies, and he's no longer in his daughter's life as she's growing up, and J. Cole is supposed to be telling this story to his daughter as his friend. And this story isn't anything new. You probably know somebody who has a story exactly like that. There are hundreds of millions of people, specifically in the black community, who have that exact same story. And that's why J. Cole is telling it. He's not telling it because, you know, it's this new thing and he's trying to give us some new insight. He's trying to break our fourth wall and get us to really understand something. He's just giving us the reality of the world that we all can somewhat relate to, either us directly via our father, our cousin, our brother, or somebody that we know, and he's just showing it to us. He's showing it to us in a musical way. He's not giving us anything super deep politically that nobody could have thought of or nobody could have learned without the background knowledge of books and background knowledge of political theory. It's just the reality. He's just giving us reality. And so while I understand why people might say Cole's not saying anything we've never heard, it's not super deep, it's very shallow, it's very surface level, I would agree there, but it's reality. He's just giving us the issues that he sees firsthand. Cole is a thinker from the everyman perspective. He realizes the world is messed up and there is a system out there for us to fail, especially black people coming from impoverished areas. He might not be able to give you the stats or the philosophy on colonization and racism and how it affects us today, but he sees the issues in his and the people around him's life and understands that this is a product of our system rather than just we gotta pick ourselves up by our bootstraps. J. Cole is your local barbershop uncle who for some reason shows up to the barbershop in sandals, but every time you talk to him, he gives you this long rant about literally anything. Anything you say can turn into a lecture about life. You bring up, hey, what'd you think of the Drake and Kendrick beef? And he's giving you a 30-minute.
I don't understand why us as black people put so much power in people's hands just because they talk about stuff we already know, but we just don't act on. Like stuff that Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole and shit like that talk about, like when it comes to black people or just society in general, we know this shit. We just don't act on it. But we put these people in such a high regard just because they actually speak on it in a song. Like I don't understand. Like why does that make people care so much? Like it ain't like nobody gonna do nothing about it. Like you talking like I don't know. I be thinking about stuff like that. Like why y'all call Kendrick Lamar, like y'all be making it like it's a good thing, like Kendrick Lamar can wear a damn Jesus, the thorn veil thing, the Jesus crown. Like, why can he wear that just because he talk about black people and the struggle and stuff like that? We know this already though. Like, why we give him that title of the rap savior or the Messiah or something like that? I don't understand. Rap is weird, bro. I don't get it. Just because he talk about stuff we already know.
Rant on how you need to stay off social media and how it's poisoning your brain and they're trying to distract you. He also might kill you if you say that LeBron is better than Jordan. He also runs like a youth football league in his free time where nobody has to pay to play, nobody has to pay for equipment. It's kind of like a thing where he's just trying to get these kids out of the street, trying to.
And speaking on it, not only is he talk about stuff we don't already know, it's he talk about stuff and people act like they actually care about it. Like people don't care about it, bro. Like people act like they really care about, like for example, Kendrick Lamar make the like "I Love Myself" song and all these black songs and stuff like that. Why do people like he get Grammys and all that stuff, but people don't care about that type of shit? Like y'all, like when he rap about it, people care, but in real life, nobody care about that type of shit for real. I don't like music. Don't make sense to me. That's why I keep it 100. I just say straight up, I like listening to lit shit and shit that just sound good. I don't go to be specific and be like, I like somebody who really talking about something and everything means something. I don't care about that type of stuff. I ain't gonna lie, but because it's like you can't tell me something I don't already know. I'm a grown ass man. What can you tell me? But I mean, understand for kids, I guess. But do you think kids actually care about Black Lives Matter or care about the black justice or the justice system or jail reform, the political state of the universe or the world and stuff like that? Nobody care about that type of shit. But people act like they do just because somebody rap about it. I don't understand. But you ain't gonna have no conversation in real life about it though. So I don't get it. That's why I say me personally. And though it might sound ignorant, I'd rather listen to songs about throwing money and bitches and shit, because I got more of a chance of throwing money and getting bitches than I will about talking about Black Lives Matter or fucking the police justice system. I don't care about this type of stuff.
Give him something to do. He goes down to like the local juvenile center on his free time and gives speeches to the kids as like a retired street dude who has served multiple bits. He's low-key like Wallow from the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, like Gilly and Wallow, but like a rapper. Yeah, that's kind of what J. Cole is. I think J. Cole's second verse on Brackets is a really good insight into some of his political views and values. Yeah, I pay taxes, so much taxes, it don't make sense. Where do my dollars go? You see lately, I ain't been convinced. I guess they say my dollar's supposed to build roads and schools, but my dudes barely graduate, they ain't got the tools. Maybe because the tax dollars that I make sure I send get spent hiring some teachers that don't look like them, and the curriculum be tricking them. Them dollars I spend got us learning about the heroes with the whitest of skin. One thing about the men that's controlling the pen that write history, they always tend to white out their sins. Maybe we'll never see a black man in the White House again. I'll write a check to the IRS, my pockets get slim. Damn. Do I even have a say about where it's going? Some older dude told me to start voting. I said democracy is too effing slow. If I'm giving y'all this hard-earned bread, I want to know. Better yet, let me decide. It's 2018. Let me pick the things I'm funding from an app on my screen. Better than letting whack congressmen I've never seen dictate where my money go. Straight into the palms of some money-hungry company that make guns, that circulate the country and then wind up in my hood making bloody clothes. Stray bullet hit a young boy with a snotty nose. From the concrete, he was probably rosed. Now his body froze and nobody knows what to tell his mother. He did good at the white man's schools, unlike his brother, who was lost in the streets all day, not using rubbers. So right now he got two on the way, still sleep on covers in his mama house. She can't take this ish no more, she want him out.
I ain't gonna lie, the nigga is spitting. I ain't gonna lie, the nigga is spitting. But he might as well just write a fucking book, cause I don't want to hear this shit in no song. I wonder what the beat sound like. Cause I ain't trying to hear this shit on no song. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that nigga is spitting though. That nigga is spitting. Like, damn, okay, nigga spitting. But I don't want to hear that in no damn song or in my earbuds or in my car. So where would you be listening to this song at?
And on the morning of the funeral, just as she's walking out, wiping tears away, grabbing her keys and sunglasses, she remembers that she gotta file her taxes. Damn. Which is where we get to the Kendrick comparison, which you all knew was coming. Don't act surprised now. Don't act like you could have avoided it. It's just what happens with Kendrick and Cole. They've been tied to each other since the beginning of their career, and especially because they both have an affinity to speak out on the issues that poison our community. Yet Kendrick carries a reputation of somebody who goes a little bit more in depth and is a little bit more knowledgeable. In my opinion, Kendrick probably does have more political theory knowledge than Cole, yet where they really do differ is the way in which they portray these issues throughout their music. Kendrick is a lot more artsy and a lot more dynamic with the way that he goes about it. Like, Kendrick is an artist who is painting an original piece that's really, really beautiful, but it's made out of the struggle. While on the other hand, J. Cole is kind of holding a mirror to you and showing you all the acne that's on America's face. He's not necessarily showing you how it got there. He's not showing you all the grease and soda that America digested in order to get that acne, or the dirty pillow that America sleeps on every night, but he's showing you that the acne is there. At his best, though, Cole is a photographer. He's not as creative as Kendrick, who's painting these beautifully tragic paintings, but he is showing you the reality of our world in his raps, and it's very straight up and it's very direct. Both himself and Kendrick became big artists as America was in and trying to recover from the major recession of 2008. Most artists at the time were making some sort of escapist music, songs where they wanted your mind off the sad realities of the average American so you could turn up with them. They acknowledged, hey, we might be broke right now, but turn up for this song. Like, that was actually infused in a lot of the lyrics and songs back then. But Cole would specifically rap in a way that made you sit in these issues. And it wasn't so you could escape from them with the music. It was so you can be reminded by the pain that exists in the real world. If I had to put a label on Cole and where he would fit into like a revolution or like a political movement or a civil movement, he would be not necessarily like a top of the chain leader, but he would be a very good soldier, maybe even like a colonel, where he is like a leader of some, but not the top of the food chain in terms of leaders. He's not the one that's curating the movement or is the one that inspired the movement, but he is a very good soldier. He's fighting the good fight and he's rallying people around this movement. He's kind of like the Jehovah's Witness foot soldiers who knock on your doors and ask if you have any time to talk about their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and if you'd like to join their group. Of all rappers, J. Cole is one of the most active in real life, though, when it comes to his activism. It's actually been a staple of his life for over a decade now. J. Cole has his own foundation called the Dreamville Foundation that donates to local communities in North Carolina. He's been seen at a bunch of public protests, specifically Black Lives Matter protests, all the way back from...
I don't understand why when somebody when a celebrity go into public, why do a bunch of people crowd around them? Like, do you really think y'all all gonna get the, like, interact with this one person? Like, why do a group of people just follow one person around? Like, what goes through a human brain to do that? Like, how is that just like instinct or a habit? Like, what is that? I don't understand. I know this is random, but I always be thinking that, like, I'll be watching like YouTubers and stuff like that, and they go out in public, and then a bunch of people just follow them, screaming their name, like, hey, 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 or just screaming their name and stuff like that. What goes through your head to follow another human being in public? Like, why? They there for a reason. It's not to interact with you, my nigga. Like, why do a group of people follow one person?
2014 in Ferguson to the 2020 protests. He's raised a whole bunch of money for hurricane victims in his home state of North Carolina as well. For as much as people want to say or can say he isn't the deepest political thinker in the world, you can't really deny his own personal activism and actual on the ground.
He's doing it because he has to. Once you start making songs like this, now you have to do it. He could be doing anything right now, but he got to be out there doing it because he making songs like that, so he got to match the image.
Work that he's put in. The real issue is that people are holding J. Cole to a standard that he just really doesn't compete at. Whether that's, you know, his haters trying to downplay him or his fans.
It's 1,000 other people there. How you gonna get noticed?
It's just not.
And what are you gonna do when he do notice? When somebody do notice you?
It's like if I were to
like, what you gonna
try
do?
and judge LeBron's greatness based off of his off-ball shooting
ability, I looked at you now with
movement, and if he's this great off-ball catch and shoot guy like a Klay Thompson, like that's just not really where you should be trying to measure LeBron and trying to see how great he is. And it's the same thing with J. Cole. I just don't think it's a proper assessment of him. He's a guy who recognizes the problems in his life, in his community, and doesn't want them to be ignored. He doesn't want that elephant in the room to not be addressed. He's a hands-on, foot on the ground, let's go and fix this issue type of guy. That's where he fits in. Cole is not the guy to be looking at in order to lead the political discourse and uprising, but he is an amazing message spreader. I think that when we're asking the question of his genuineness or his...
Bro, nobody talk about J. Cole when it comes to activism. Everybody talk about J. Cole for like specific bars, but I ain't never heard nobody talk about it because of that.
Depth, if he really is saying these things that he means, or he's just trying to sound smarter than everyone else. I think you would have to look at his actions in the real world and if they match up. And so far, they do. And I think that is the standard that J. Cole should be measured at. Is he really about the things that he talks about? Is he really about these community issues and trying to fix them and better his own community? Is that what he really is?
It just be weird. Like I said, it's like, yeah, you want to say hi, but I be seeing, like I said, I be seeing the videos. So niggas can't even go to a store in peace. Like, niggas walk up to you and get a picture and say hi, but then they'll still follow you around. Why? Why are you still here? You got your picture. You say, hey, I even dapped you up. You did skin to skin. Why are you still following me? I don't get it.
Is about, or is he just trying to get brownie points from, you know, maybe some guys who are judging for Grammys? Is that what he's trying to do, or is he trying to actually change things in his reality? That is where J. Cole actually exceeds and excels as a rapper and as a human being, I think, in my opinion. I'm not going to give an assessment on who he is as a man. We don't know J. Cole. But I'm saying that in terms of sticking to his word, I think that's where we need to measure him. Because if you're looking at him for this political figure and this political thinker, it is shallow. It is not very deep. It is very surface level. So I think that's where the misunderstanding comes. You're judging him for A, when in reality, he's not A, he's B. So obviously he's not going to fit to the measurements of A, but if you were to change and look at him for B, you would understand J. Cole a lot better than you do now. But that's going to be the end of my video. If you made it this far, I greatly appreciate you. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe.
I got to run, dude.
It helps me out a ton. If you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm an idiot, let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear it all. But if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 50K. I go by the name of
I'm on the road to 50 followers. Help me get there, everybody. But that was J. Cole isn't who he think he is. I don't think he is either.
Yeah, I didn't turn the AC on, but the young nigga still too high. I told him what the fuck we on, but I still think they missed the plot. Know my ex is mad, yeah, cause they missed they shot. We ain't got a bag, yeah, now might let's go shop.